Hi everyone, you're now watching Groundbreakers, a CGTN roundtable show, and we're coming to you live in the city of Beijing. As you can tell, we're right now at an ice rink. It's actually at the CBD of the Chinese capital. It's got Le Col Ice Rink. It's been an iconic place for many of the hardcore skaters in town. It's been around, I've been told, for almost over a decade. And why are we here today? Well, it's related to our topic. As we know that winter sports or ice and snow sports has taken off in China in recent years, especially since the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. There has been over 3 million people who have taken part in ice and snow sports in China. And in recent years, the ice and snow tourism is also booming. It has boosted the consumer spending as well, and also the regional development. Actually, at the end of 2024, the Central Economic Work Conference in China highlighted some of the key areas for growth, and ice and snow economy was one of them. That, of course, is our topic today, and this is a huge industry with so much potential, and today we're going to discuss with our guests in terms of how it's really becoming a game changer. So joining us in our show today are Ms. Zhang Li, co-president of Asia Digital Group. Welcome. And Zhang Zhuo, level of leisure sports and tourism at the Beijing Sport University, and she's also an international level referee for sledding competition. And also Dario Capelli, former head coach at Chinese Para-Alpine for sledding competition. And also Dario Capelli, former head coach at Chinese Para-Alpine skiing national team, and he's also the chief foreign coach of Bond Ski Sports. Once again, very much welcome to all of you. I know this must be a really brand new experience to you, right? Being invited to an ice rink to do a panel discussion. Right. I've never done it before. I believe you guys are the same.
First time.
Yeah, you're welcome. So just to start, I was wondering...
The football court or the basketball court or even sometimes the parking lot could be covered, yes, with ice. And of course, you can also skate on the lake as well. So I skated a little bit like every winter time. But my crazy fan, or like I'm a crazy fan of skiing. Yeah. Nowadays, because of my work, I traveled not only in China but also globally every year, visiting the skiing resorts. I guess every year maybe more than 50 or 60 times. So I try to utilize every single opportunities to enjoy the beautiful, like yes, nature, and also the really nice feeling of skiing.
Wow, quite a story. How about Zhang Zhuo?
Yeah, because my work for the Beijing Sport University Leisure Sport School, and that's my job. But in my personal time, if time is permitted, my schedule is good, and usually during the winter peak time, I usually spend once a week on the snow. So it's pretty much, it's very interesting when the cold wind blow on my face, and I landing off the slope, and pretty excited. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Dario?
Yeah, I'm Dario from Italy. So ice and snow is my life. I spend more than 70% of my life on the ice and on the snow. Thanks to my job, I went around the world. So I went to ski in Canada, US, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand. So I went in the entire global. And yes, it's I think it's a lovely sport, the ice and the skiing.
Right.
Because you ski in a special environment, inside the nature, and you can feel a lovely landscape if you have a chance. So it's very funny. Many people, they talk to me, but it's dangerous. No, it's not dangerous. We have to ski with safety. We have to know our potentiality.
Yeah.
We have to prepare our body, yes, because it's sports.
Right.
And this is very important. Before to enter inside the ski slope or in the ice ring, my suggestion is to practice some physical training, yes, before.
Yeah. I can tell that each and every one of you are a fan of at least maybe one or two sorts of winter sports. So my next question is for Zhang Li here. So I know that your company actually organized the 2024 World Winter Sports Expo, and there's a report that I noticed. It's about China's ice and snow industry development report that actually showed over 385 million people who traveled for ice and snow leisure during the 2023 to 2024 season. And during this ongoing season is expected to reach 500 million. It's even more, with revenues exceeding some 700, as remember, 700 billion yuan, and that's about 95.4 billion US dollars. So even people who knew little about ice and snow sports, for example, I was born and raised in southern part of China. I grew up without knowing any of ice and snow sports. So even people like me started paying attention to winter sports. How do you see that?
Well, this is actually one of my favorite topics.
Yeah.
To be honest, we have been organizing the World Winter Sports Expo since 2015, when we were bidding for the 2022 Olympic Games. And now it has become one of the biggest winter sports show globally, not only in China, so we are very proud. And every year we do publish a lot of reports. And going back to the numbers you were saying, I would really like to say that during the past decade, for the Expo ourselves, but also I think the whole industry, we do witness the growth of winter sports in China. So thanks maybe to the Olympic Games we have been organizing. So it did push the development of winter sports. First of all, for example, we can see the growth of the sports venues. We can see that, for example, last year we have either the ice rinks and ski resorts totaling of over already 2,800 something. And it has actually this increase of 15 or 16% every year. But not only the venues or the infrastructure, what really makes us more exciting is related to the sports, especially people's interest and passion. And that's related to sports training and also winter sports tourism. So last year, we do see a tremendous growth. Nowadays, actually, either on TikTok, yes, or on all those social media, you would see the growth actually of skiers and also skaters, snowboarders, yes, in all the big ski resorts. So I think that's the second phenomenon we observed. I think the third, that is more importantly, after a decade, I think we did not only organize a very successful event, but we actually also cultivate this industry. We have formed a cluster of winter sports. So that would include, for example, the winter equipment, like the snow cannons or the cables, or actually a lot of other, like, yes, personal equipments, like skis, or even actually, you can see the skaters behind us. So that actually has really increased the development of the industry. And in return, that means we also have a very good economy out of it. So we have really turned these cold resources into the hot economy.
That's very well said. Ever since the 2022 Winter Olympics, it has really started this boom of winter sports in China. And traditionally, it's restricted in northern part of China, I believe, but now it's expanding to many other parts of China that do not traditionally do those kind of sports. Right. So how about Zhang Zhu? How do you view like more and more people who previously didn't know much about the sports ended up doing the sports?
Because our the national strategy, the national strategy, the public accounts of the guidelines, the things, the 2016, and the strategy push us really hard to join this the new. It's kind of like a new sports. Maybe it's not like the traditional sports, but it's the strategy help us to know a lot about the sports. And also it's because the strategy really helped to building a new instruction, especially in the indoor the ski centers, the venues. That's why people who is not belonging to the north, but they are like Mr. Dai and you from the south of China, but back then we actually started also new indoor facilities to support people who belong in the south of China to join this kind of game. No matter what, it's the whole year we could to play inside of the venues. That's a lot. And also, it's because northern China also have this traditional play in the winter. That's why I think that the strategy helped us a lot to give all the people from different regions of China had the chance to enjoy the interesting game, right?
Yeah. So it's just a few years, right?
Yeah.
2020 is just 3 or 4 years.
I think no more than 8 years.
No more than 8 years.
Yeah.
And we actually nowadays have the biggest indoor ski venues in the whole world. Yeah,
right.
And also some newer ones are also coming out. Very soon in Shenzhen. Yeah.
Oh, in Shenzhen, yeah. A few weeks ago, I was visiting there.
Yeah.
Still under construction, but it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. What about Daria? Daria, you coached the national team for alpine skiing.
Yeah.
You've been a really experienced coach. You started doing the sport when you were about 4 in Italy?
Yes. I was very kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you see that more and more, maybe your trainees are maybe getting interested, getting in on the sport?
But yes, this is, I saw that in Europe we have a lot of history about this kind of sport. In China it started to be new thanks to the Beijing 2022. And they saw that it is growing very fast. I'm very impressed about it. Not only during the winter season, you know, that most of the people, they are going to ski, but also in the summer, thanks to the indoor ski, they can practice all the year if you want. And indoor ski is amazing because you can ski wherever you want. Shenzhen, you don't have mountain, they can ski. So this is help all the system, ice and the snow, to grow, not only during the winter season, but all year. And this help to the economy, to the infrastructure, the company, to continue to develop the equipment. And this is it's like a wheel. They turn around each other, and this is very helpful for the economy, for everything. And I think all the population, the people, they want to try, because with the indoor ski, it's so easy. Yeah. You finish to work, you come here, you rent the ski equipment, and you try 2 hours, it's done. If you think winter, we have to drive 3 hours, 4 hours, to go to the ski resort, the people maybe they lose this passion. But with the indoor ski, yes. This is the new system.
Right. And we've also seen that for professional sports events in China in recent years, we've also seen a spike. For example, China has seen pretty much 50% increase during the last season. In terms of the professional sports, winter sports events. And there's also a major international competition just around the corner is the Asian Winter Games in Harbin in February. How do you see the spike of those maybe domestic and international, like professional sports events taking place in China? And how has that helped shape the industry and the overall market?
Well, first of all, I think all these kind of competitions, either international, global ones, or national ones, or even like local ones, they do play a very good role in promoting the development of the local economy. And to Harbin, yes, I was actually there 2 weeks ago, yes. and experiencing all the preparation of the Asian Games. Very well prepared, I have to say. But what I want to really elaborate here is about the impacts of some good competition to a local city. I have a very good example of a very small French town. Dario probably know, like Chamonix. Yeah, it organized actually the first Olympic Games, but it used to be just one monastery. And nowadays, the population is only, I guess, maybe 10 or 20,000. But nowadays, actually, the tourism there is over 1 to 2 million people. So we can see that for any events, it does play a very good role to promote actually the tourism locally. But what I want to say, more than that, is also the infrastructure. For example, we need to build new venues and even the transportation and etc. And also, more importantly, the third thing is, I guess it's related also to the sport or the culture of winter sports. I think nowadays, if you go to Harbin, many people combined the tourism of visiting Harbin plus the skiing resort, Yabuli. Yes, So it's a very good way. I guess last but not least, it's always good to set up the image of a city. And especially when talking about these Asian Games. I think for Harbin, if I remember correctly, it was also the first city to organize this kind of continental winter games in China in 1996. And now, this Asian Games comes back to Harbin. And I think it will utilize this good opportunity not only to welcome, nowadays we call this potatoes from the southern areas,
yes, southern potatoes.
But also maybe people globally. We see people from Russia, neighboring countries, and nowadays, surely later from Europe, maybe Italy as well, and the US. So fingers crossed, I really hope this Asian Game will help boost the development of Harbin and also of China, of the winter sports.
Right, certainly the potential is big, as you
Yes,
said, in the industry. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is Groundbreakers, the CGTN Roundtable Show, and we're coming to you live in Beijing at an ice rink. It's called Le Col Ice Rink in Guomao, CBD of Beijing. And today we're going to discuss some of the topics related to the rising winter sports here in China. So we were just talking about the professional sports events here in China in recent years, the rise of it. And what about Zhang Zhu? How do you see those rising sports events, both domestic and internationally here in China?
Yeah, I think the rising sport events in China is because we actually have the very pretty and massive venues, especially in Beijing, and actually went back to the 2022 in the Winter Olympic Games. Because I work for the Alpine, like Darius was. Alpine, the luge center, actually that is the top 17th the world, the best the luge track. Yes, because the players, I mean the athletes, they came over, they feel like wow, they always wow starting, and it's really pretty. It's very functional, this track, and they love it, and they feel like so excited because this track is brand new. And they've never tried this kind of track with 360 circles, and they're pretty excited. So I think the international the winter events, we actually our country hold a lot because we have a unique venues, and we do have a very advanced management. Green and good for you, and that's why I think the sport events have a lot in our country lately, which is good.
Yeah. Green and low carbon, that's a big and new concept that we are starting to pay more and more attention in recent years, even in sports events.
Right. This is actually is our country's image. Show the whole world. Yes.
Right.
Actually, for the chairman of the luge, Ivo, personally, we are very good friends. And he used to tell me, for actually the venue we have in China. He said it's the best ever, and no one can even surpass it in the future. So really proud. Yeah.
Yeah.
So proud.
What about Dario? You professionally coached the 2022 the para alpine skiing national team.
Yes.
So you has the final say. What about this? You know, the rising professional sports events in China. You've also been in China, living here in about how many years in China already?
I've been 4 years before,
4 years.
from 2020 and 2022.
Yeah.
And now I just arrived 2 months ago.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
I think I will stay in China more.
Okay. And how do you see those the rise of those professional sports events, though?
But sure, this organize these sport events, very important sport events like Asia Winter Game, is very important to show around the world how China is growing. And to call people here for this big event is a good opportunity also to understand which is the other level in other countries, other skill level. So it's a very good challenge, and it's a very good opportunity to grow more in China. And to show the other people that China is growing, not only like ski resort, but also like indoor ski. And this, I think, help the economy, the Chinese economy, to grow, because to recall some people here also during the summer, because now, especially in Europe, we are a little bit in worry, you know, in danger because of the warmth of the global. So the glaciers, they are slowly disappear. So it's very difficult now to ski during the summer. And the only opportunity is or you go in Argentina or Australia, New Zealand, or you use the indoor skis.
Right. And just now we were talking about aside from the professional events, there are also the sports actually is expanding. It's not just restricted to northern or northeastern part of China. It's expanding to southern China, to southwestern part of China. For example, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Chongqing. Just now we were talking about the massive under construction indoor ski resorts. And there are also winter-themed travel routes in Chongqing as well. We see that it's getting more and more personalized and diversified in recent years. How do you see, this trend of this traditionally a sports belong to northern part?
Right.
It's actually expanding to probably is now becoming a nationwide sports. Yeah.
I think for this, we do see maybe the future of the winter sports development in China does not only lie in the northern part.
Yeah.
Behind this, I think there are a couple of reasons. The first one is really the governmental policies. Very long time ago, yes, we have the governmental policies to develop the winter sports, not only in the northern part, but to the east, to the west, and to the south.
Yeah.
And then later on, we do see the second thing. Following all those kind of policies, we see, first of all, the investment goes to those areas. And then secondly, the industry follows. We have actually some numbers showing the companies registered in winter sports during the past few years. And we noticed even in the southern areas, this kind of number has always been increasing every year. Yeah. So I guess the second reason is more or less like the kind of feedback from the industry. And the third thing is the public, or I should say the consumers. Nowadays, if you go to Chongli, like Dario was mentioning, even though very cold, for the consumers in the southern areas, you can easily see many groups from Guangdong or from Chengdu. Yes, they have never seen snow, like maybe in their whole life. Unlike Dario, he said, yeah, I heard actually Europeans were born with skis. Yes, So on the other hand, they also have the consumption power. So we can see that first of all, we see people moved from the southern area to the northern area to try the skiing and also other winter sports activities. And later on, we do see many indoor ski venues in the southern area. And that's the reason why I want to say for each different areas, if you really focus on what you are good at, that means maybe the like nature, I mean the geographic condition, or even like yes, the economic condition and etc. Finding what really suits that area to develop the winter sports industry. I'm sure in the future, it's not only about Xinjiang, Altai, not only about Jilin, Liaoning, yes, like what you said, Chongqing, Shenzhen, Guangzhou nowadays, yes, very popular.
Yeah, because in the past days, when you think of Guangzhou and Shenzhen, all you think it's the hot and humid weather there. You would never thought about, you know, the possibility of doing some winter sports there. So how about Zhangzhou? How do you view like these sports spreading to these warmer areas in China?
Because like Mr. Zhang Li said, and so they also have this very unique scenery. Scenic is pretty, and also they have the aesthetic, the culture. So combine the aesthetic culture and the very nature scenic, I think Yunnan is doing pretty good as well. Yeah, that's why I think the ice and the sports spread all over the country is great. Yes.
Okay. What about Dario? Have you ever traveled to maybe Guangzhou? Would you try those indoor ski resorts?
I've never been there.
You've never been there?
Never been there. You know, in
You've
Europe,
got to go there.
We have a small indoor skis. And I remember the first time when I arrived in China, 2018, I was in Harbin. And they said, okay, let's go to ski in the indoors. I was thinking like Europe, normal, indoor ski, you know. And when I'm arrived in front of the Harbin indoor, I say, wow, what's that? I was really shocked, in positive. And sure, to spread into the warm city like Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Chengdu, Wuhan, Harbin, demonstrated that the technology is helping this sport a lot. Because I saw the indoor ski is a very good opportunity that everybody can try. So they try, if they like, they continue. They try to ice skating, it continues. So to build like a bond ski sport is very helpful these sports, because everyone can try to ski. So if you think China have a big population, so if everyone, they can try every day. But not only for beginner, but also for the young guys, the young people, they continue to training. So it's not only on the north, on the mountain, but everywhere. The athletes, they can training, they can practice every day a little bit. And this is sure, this help a lot of to grow all the system, and also the ski level. Because indoor ski, you cannot only practice alpine, but you can practice snowboard. Yes. You can practice freestyle. You can practice everywhere. Yeah. So they are very amazing.
Yeah, so it's actually breaking the seasonal limits or seasonal barriers. Right.
So few years ago, not few years ago, but winter sport was only winter, only mountain. Now, it's not winter sport, it's four season sport.
Right, okay. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is Groundbreakers, the CGTN Roundtable Show. We're coming to you live in Beijing at the Guomao, the Lecoq Ice Rink. It's been around for over 10 years. It's an iconic place for many of the hardcore skaters, and we're here today discussing like the rising passion in China towards ice and snow sports in winter. So let me just try to introduce each and every one of you again. Joining us in the show today is Zhang Li, co-president of Asia Digital Group, and Zhang Zhuo, lecturer of School of Leisure Sports and Tourism at Beijing Sport University. She's also an international level referee for sledding competition, and also Dario Capelli, former head coach of Chinese para-alpine skiing national team. He's also the chief foreign coach of Bonski Sports. Okay, we've already talked a lot about in terms of like people's passion towards the sports and also the rise of professional sports events and how this culture is kind of spreading to those traditionally regions maybe not known for ice and snow sports. For example, I was born and raised in southern China. Growing up, did not know anything about it, and now I started attending it. Okay, now my next question is about how, because we talked about different regions started like building all those indoor ski resorts. How do they tailor those construction or their projects to better meet the needs so that there would not be so much unnecessary market competition or so many unnecessary projects going on?
Well, I think when we are talking about all these indoor skiing venues, right now, actually, other than the one in Harbin Dario mentioned, nowadays, the majority, new projects are actually in the southern areas. So I want to say that the competition is not that close because maybe in one city there is only one big ski venues. But what I really want to say is for the skiing, like indoor skiing venues, it has many good things to complement this whole industry. One thing actually either Madame Zhang and also Dario has mentioned already, that's the full season operation. Because it's not limited to the climate. So in the summertime, yes, we can actually maybe after swimming, you can change your clothes and then just go skiing. But that's the first good thing. The second good thing, when I'm talking with a lot of owners of indoor skiing venues and also of the outdoor skiing resorts, I do see also a very good cooperation between them. For example, for the indoor ski resorts, we always call those skiers the babes in the fridge, 冰箱宝宝. Yeah, but it does have some kind of limitation, as what Dario mentioned. It's good for you to practice your skills, but in terms of, for example, the length and also other conditions, it's not really like the nature, like the Alps, like Altai. So I do see the cooperation of transferring their own customers to the outdoor ski resorts, between the indoor ski resorts and outdoor ski resorts. So they have a large pool of customers after some basic practicing, yes, or even some advanced practicing of all those kind of skills, freestyle. And then they cooperate with the outdoor ski resorts. So that's a very good combination, and also to push forward the development of this industry as well. And another example could be the coaches as well. For outdoor ski resorts, in the summertime, the coaches usually they don't have any indoor ski resorts. So there are many good things, yes, or collaboration between them.
And the southern, I think their education for the ski and the snow sport actually is has more class for the kids. And the kids will be always like to choose this kind of class because they never been the snow, they never see the snow. They feel like, oh, if I have a chance to choose this class, they definitely chose it. And then that means actually their ice and snow class actually is much more than us. Surprise, right? Because compared to them, and it feels like, oh, this is a very unique class. I must choose for my kid, and the student love it. So that means that they has pay more attention about this ice and the snow, whatever the facilities or the competition shows. actually they love it. And one of my students, as a lot of my students, actually are teaching the snow and the ice sports there. Yeah, it feels like, wow, this is different.
What about Dario?
But I think each region can develop their strategy about their climate and geography position. You know, I think the cold region with the mountain, I think they have to start to think about the outdoor strategy. To call more people during the winter season. The other province, they don't have mountain, they have to invest more in artificial, like indoor. So this collaboration, I think, help this environment to grow more. Because one thing is to ski inside indoor skis. To ski outdoor is totally different. Because you feel the air, the fresh air. One day is very cold, one day is warm, one day is windy. So you ski in a natural environment. Inside the indoor ski is lovely, it's amazing for practice, for improve my level, and to think that, okay, I'm growing, my level is growing, okay, I want to try to go outdoor. But the other province, they need to be ready to welcome these people from, especially from the south of China or from the other country. So I think we need to grow both, not only outdoor or not only indoor, and to lose the outdoor, because also the outdoor is very, very important.
Right, right. We also know that the Chinese President Xi Jinping actually said lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. And in the year of 2022, when meeting with the IOC President Thomas Bach, he also said that ice and snow are also as ice and gold. So how do you view that, especially in the context of China's booming ice and snow economy nowadays?
I think talking about this, there are two perspectives. One is actually from the 2B part, from the business and industry part. The other one is from the 2C part, from the consumer parts. When we are talking about the ice and snow, the gold and silver, I think we've already witnessed and also experienced how the 2022 Olympic Games has transformed all those kind of cold resources into what we have. As we were talking about just now, the infrastructure, yes, and the venues and the sports, like popularity and etc. Going back to the two perspectives, I want to elaborate a little bit. The first one is related to the industry. To be honest, the winter sports industry is not a big sector, but it has a very long value chain. When I talk about actually the business perspective, we noticed that by developing the sports, by also hosting the winter sports Olympic Games, we have really developed a lot, this whole value chain during the past 10 years. Personally, because we have been organizing the World Winter Sports Expo for the past nearly decade. Next year is going to be our 10th anniversary. At the very beginning, for example, we saw many international companies on this platform coming into the Chinese market. Because of our preparation for the 2022 Olympic Games. We need the snow cannons, we need the cables, and etc. We see the brands from Austria, from Italy, yes, entering into the Chinese market. But during the past decade, we do see many actually Chinese companies emerging from this field as well, with our own intellectual properties. For example, nowadays, for example, the groomers we saw just now, or even actually some technology for the personal equipments or skis or skating blades.
So as a result, we see, for example, in some area, we see this industrial park focusing on winter sports. For example, in Hebei province, in Zhangjiakou, or in Yanqing, yes, in Beijing. So that means it does actually bring a lot of economic impacts and maybe later on more benefits to us. That's from the business perspective. And the second thing I want to talk about is from the consumer perspective. Maybe it's hard to imagine. When I was in Jilin province last month, I read actually the data. During the Spring Festival and also the snow season, 2023 to 2024, could you imagine how many skier visits and how much, like, yes, economic benefit it has brought to Jilin province? So the number was amazing. It's about 120 million visits at B. So we can see that in terms of winter sports tourism and also winter sports apparels, people need to buy skis. And nowadays, I realize many of the skiers, they do not only just care about the good looking, they also care about the functionality. So regarding that, is also we see these booming numbers of increase, yes, of the sales. So going back to your question, I think even though it's a small vertical sector, but as what President Xi said, ice and snow is really gold and silver.
Wow, that's very well said. It's not just about the sports itself, right? It's also about the goggles, the gloves, the helmet, everything.
That's true.
Yeah. What about Zhang Zhuo?
Yeah, from my angle, because I work for the college, I think that every year the college students try to find their job, and for them, actually, the President Xi's the snow and ice is golden and silver. Actually, from their angle, is meaning they actually can find their job and the future, even the happiness life during the winter season. Because most of my students, my field is the leisure sport, and our leisure sport major is consecutively 17 years in the top 8+ the field in our country. And our student actually, after we graduate, and my student is really easy to find their job or future, and they're looking for the aim for the future is to self-employed. Most of them is self-employed, and they find out actually during the winter time they are easy to can get a lot of the wage, and the income is great. And also when they back to their hometown, their neighbors, the friends, families to do the rural realization. And so from my angle, I think that the President Xi Jinping's the gold, silver means for our students actually is that they can find their job in this especially track. They can go to this track, avoid to competition with others, and they can have the happiness life in there. Like one of my students, his company is the Yu Yang Winter Camp, and it's the largest the teenager ski school for the whole country, and they're doing pretty well. Yeah.
It's also about finding a job.
Right.
Your ends
More
meet.
job opportunities.
Yeah.
Yes, and his team is all over. It's all from our leisure sport major, and they're doing the #1 income in the whole national. And during this year's season, they already training over 2,000 kids in their camp.
Yeah. Fully leveraging the skills that they acquired in school, in college. Wow.
Yes.
And very well paid.
Very paid, exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What about Dario?
Yeah, the words gold and silver, if you think it's not only a metal, no? But you can read these two words also in like economy, environment, or like tourism and the sports industry, or like protection of the nature and at the same the environment to grow. So the future, I think we have to invest more like this, in this way, you know, to build a new ski resort, new technology, but at the same time respect the environment.
Right. Okay.
And this is, I think, is a very important challenge, you know, because all the global now is not really safe. So to build it easy, but at the same time we have to try to build with new technology, invest. So it's both economy and environment, you know. To build a new chairlift, new ski resort with the new technology, at the same time to respect the nature. Yes.
Right. Although there are challenges, we see the demand is also there, and the demand in China for winter sports, ice and snow sports, are getting more and more personalized, more and more diversified. We definitely see that there is a bright future. For example, earlier we discussed how like maybe seasonal limits is still there, but indoor ski resorts, like innovations like this, are really breaking down those seasonal barriers. So there's always more maybe innovative solutions than challenges.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is Groundbreakers, the CGTN Roundtable Show. You can watch it and re-watch it at our CGTN official website and on our official social media platforms, both domestic and overseas. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. That will do it for us at this episode of Groundbreakers, and see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.